As Alice was lying by her sister on the bank one warm day, a white rabbit with pink eyes suddenly ran close by her and popped down a rabbit hole under the hedge. In another moment, down went Alice after it. Down, down, down. Then suddenly, thump! The white rabbit was no longer to be seen. Alice walked on and was a little startled to see a Cheshire cat sitting in a tree.
A Cheshire cat? Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go?
That depends on where you want to go. In this direction lives a March Hare, and in this direction lives a Mad Hatter. Visit either one you like. They're both mad. We're all mad here. I'm mad. You're mad.
How do you know that you're mad?
Well, a dog growls when it's angry and wags its tail when it's pleased. Now, I growl when I'm pleased, and my tail when I'm angry.
I call it purring, not growling.
Call it whatever you like.
And with this he vanished. Before long, Alice came inside of the house of the March Hare. At a table under the tree, the March Hare and the Mad Hatter were having tea. Dormouse was sitting between them, fast asleep. The table was a large one, but when they saw Alice, they cried out,
"No room! No room!"
There's plenty of room.
What day of the month is it?
The 4th.
To the room! I told you the butter went through the works.
It was the best butter, though.
He took the watch and looked at it gloomily. Then he dipped it into his cup of tea and looked at it again. But he could think of nothing better to say than,
It was the best butter.
It's always tea time with us here, but we've not time to walk a thing between whiles.
So you keep going round, I suppose.
Exactly so. As the things get used up.
But when you come to
Suppose we change the subject. I vote the Dormouse tells us a story.
I wasn't asleep. I heard every word you fellows were saying.
Just tell us a story.
And be quick about it, or you may sleep again before it's all done.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters, and they lived at the bottom of a well.
What do they live on?
They lived on treacle.
They couldn't have done that, you know. They'd have been ill.
So they were very ill, and they were learning to draw, and they drew everything that begins with the M.
Why was an M?
Why not?
the Dormouse was going off into a doze, but on being pinched, it woke up again and went on.
Such as memory, and the moon, and muchness. You know, you say things are much of a muchness. Have you ever seen the drawing of a muchness?
Really? Now you say, I don't think so.
Then you still didn't talk.
This piece of rudeness was more than Alice could bear. She got up and walked off. At last she found herself in a beautiful garden. It was a queen's croquet grounds, but Alice found the state of affairs in the lovely garden not at all as beautiful as she expected. The Queen of Hearts was very fond of ordering heads to be cut off. Her favorite phrase was, "Off with their head," whenever somebody displeased her.
Have you seen the mock turtle yet?
Oh, no, I don't even know what a mock turtle is.
Why, it's what mock turtle soup is made from. Come, and he shall tell you his story.
They very soon came upon a griffin lying in the sun.
Up, lady thing! And take this young lady to see the mock turtle. I must go look after some executions I have ordered.
Alice and Griffin found the turtle sitting sad and lonely on a ledge of a rock.
This here young lady, she wants to know your history.
Once, I was a real turtle. When we were little, we went to school in the sea. The master was an old turtle. We had reeling and writhing and the different branches of arithmetic, ambition, and distraction, uglification, and derision.
I've never heard of uglifying. What is it?
Never heard of uglify? You know what beautify is, I suppose.
Yes, it means to make something prettier.
Then if you don't know what uglifying is, you are a simpleton. Then geography and ambition and distraction and
How many hours a day did you have lessons?
10 hours the first, 9 the next, and so on.
What a curious plan.
See, that's the reason they're called lessons. It's because they lesson from day to day.
So, the 11th day must have been a holiday.
That's enough about lessons. Would you like to hear the Mock Turtle sing you a song?
Oh yes, a song, if the Mock Turtle would be so kind.
Beautiful soup, so rich and green, waiting in a hot tureen. Who for such days would not stoop? Soup of the evening, beautiful soup. Soup of the evening, beautiful soup. Beautiful soup. Beautiful, beautiful soup.
The Mock Turtle had just begun to repeat the chorus when a cry of
The trial's beginning!
was heard off in the distance.
Come on, Alice.
And taking Alice by the hand, the griffin hurried off, and carried on by the breeze that followed them, they heard,
Soup of the evening, beautiful, beautiful soup.
When they arrived at the trial, the king and queen of hearts were seated on the throne. With the crowd assembled about them, there were all sorts of little birds and beasts, as well as a whole pack of cards. The knave was standing in chains, and near the king was a white rabbit, with a trumpet in one hand and a scroll in the other.
Silence in the court!
Herald, read the accusation.
The white rabbit blew 3 blasts on the trumpet, then unrolled the scroll and read,
The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts all on a summer day. The Knave of Hearts stole those hearts and took them quite away.
Call the first witness.
The hatter came in with a teacup in one hand and a piece of bread and butter in the other.
I beg your pardon, my tea for bringing these in, but I hadn't quite finished my tea when I was sent for.
Don't be so nervous. Give your evidence, or I'll have you executed on the spot.
The witness looked uneasily at the queen, and in his confusion, he bit a piece out of his teacup instead of his bread and butter.
Is that all you know? Then you may go.
And just take his head off outside.
But the hatter was out of sight before the officer could get to the door.
Call the next witness.
Alice was curious to see what the next witness would be like. To her surprise, the white rabbit read out,
Alice! What do you know of these accusations?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all.
That is very important. Let the jury decide the verdict.
No, no. Sentence first, verdict afterwards.
Nonsense. The idea of having the verdict first.
Hold your tongue.
I won't.
Off with her head!
and nobody moved.
Who cares for you? You're nothing but a pack of cards.
As Alice spoke, the whole pack rose up into the air and came flying down upon her. She gave a little scream and found herself lying on the bank with her sister.
Oh, I've had such a curious dream.
And she told her sister, as well as she could remember them, all her strange adventures.